What's up, everyone? This is the word according to me, AJ Tripp. And first off, I want to apologize for having the lights off. If you can't see me or anything like that very clearly or anything like that, it is just hot as heck here in Chicago. The air conditioner, my air conditioner, isn't working as good as it should have. Obviously, probably need a new one and everything like that, and the fan. So it's just whatever, just really hot. So I'm trying to keep me from being so hot. And if I turn on the light, it would be like that. But I kind of think that listen, I'm not doing a try not to laugh or anything like that. So maybe you don't necessarily need to see my entire face or anything like that. Make sure I'm not cheating or nothing like that. So I'm just gonna leave it off. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about some of the stuff that's been going on in sports and in real life and things like that. I mean, this was a kind of a crazy weekend, wasn't it? We had the President of the United States calling the people who take a knee or who sit down during the national anthem sons of bitches. And then that coincides into many more people sitting down and taking knees this past Sunday, even to the point to where some teams, 3 teams in particular, the Steelers, the Titans, and the Seahawks, decided not to even participate in the national anthem at all because they couldn't agree on what to do, and they wasn't going to let it divide them as a team, because the president comments divided people. It's divisive. Divisive comes without question, and you can go back to last year when Colin Kaepernick, when he first sat down, he was sitting down at first, and then after talking to a former military personnel who also played football, he decided to take a knee. He thought that would be would be a good compromise instead of sitting down, taking a knee, and that seemed to be even worse. And now we are here. We are here where it's seemingly now not about what Colin Kaepernick wanted to bring attention to. It is about being patriotic and being for your country and things like that. And I understand both sides of it, without question. I do. Because listen, I understand. I'm a black man, right? I understand that there are things in this country that are not equal for all, and I shouldn't just bring it to a race thing. I should talk about it all in general, right? Because we have things like, things for the LGBT community. We have things for Mexicans and Muslims and everybody. So there are definitely, you can even go men and women, right? The inequalities there. So the social inequalities are a big thing, and they should be brought to light, and they should be brought to the forefront. And let's talk about this, have a conversation. Let's see how we can do to make these inequalities as equal as they can possibly be. But I've never known if but I've never thought that sitting or kneeling for the national anthem was a way to shed light on that. I'll be very honest with you. When I first saw that about Colin Kaepernick, I was very dismissive of it because I truly believe that Colin Kaepernick his heart was not in the right place. That he was really doing this to get himself a name. He was not the starting quarterback of the 49ers anymore, so the spotlight was not going to be on him. So he did something to bring the spotlight upon him, and that was to sit and then take a knee. And then him not voting in last year's election, that made it even more. It is because if he wanted to do something to bring change, you would think voting in the election would do that. But he didn't decide to vote because he felt like both of them wouldn't do what's right, what was needed to help change. So that for me was that was the final straw. But he has proven me wrong without question. I am wrong. He has done things in the community to prove that he really does want to make a change in this world, and giving soups out to the homeless and donating hundreds upon thousands, even close to $1 million to charities and things like that. So he's put his money where his mouth is with that. So I can do nothing but doff my chapeau off to him for that. That being said, I still think the way he went about it was wrong in my opinion. I don't think he needed to sit down or take a knee to show that he is a star. Even though he was back at that time, he was still a star quarterback, and there are a whole bunch of other ways that he could have done that. So especially with the Players Tribune come out, where you can go on Players Tribune and things like that. So there were many ways he could have done it. I think that he was wrong, and then it went to other things, and I think what happened was that him sitting down, trying to shed light on the social injustices and social inequalities in our country, trying to shed a light on that, it became about the protests, the anthem, the national anthem, and the protest of the national anthem. And I think what people don't seem to realize is that, I guess it's that old saying, right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Sure, Colin Kaepernick's intentions were good and to shed light on that, but once he did it in front of the national anthem, it went away from his thing, his true vision, and it went away to the protests. And just because people just talk about the national anthem and the protest doesn't mean that they're not looking at the other side. But because they aren't, but because some are. Let's be clear, because some are they what their biases and their prejudgment, maybe even their racism doesn't is not going to allow them to even think about what the original view, what his original point was, and it's going to be about the anthem, and I understand that, but I think some people are willing to and want to, have people like Colin Kaepernick and other athletes speak out on these issues, and and do things for these issues, but not disrespect, in their opinion, the country that they live in, the national anthem, and in particularly, probably most importantly, the soldiers that are fighting and have fought and have died and paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. And I think that just becomes that, because that's all they see. They see that as disrespect. So whatever you are, whatever you're trying to bring light to, they just see the disrespect in their eyes. And even though that may not be his intent, that's how some people see it, and they're not wrong for seeing it that way. That's their opinion. Honest with you, that's my opinion. I do think I'm not one to think that you should be kneeling or sitting for the national anthem or anything like that. And I think one of the reasons why I just wanted to do this video, even because last night I was actually I was inspired by the Dallas Cowboys, because I liked what they did. I liked the fact that they took that knee They took that knee in prayer and in protest, but they did it before the national anthem. Once they took their knee, they stood up and they locked arms with each other and they stood there for the national anthem. And I like that. Because see, I think that does two things. I think one, that shows that they did their protest, right? They did their demonstration for whatever they wanted to do, whatever they was protesting. The social inequalities, the comments from our president, what they were doing, they took the knee for that. But then when the national anthem played, they stood there to show you that this is not about the national anthem. And it's not about our country or our soldiers. We are all Americans and we are unified, and I love that. And I think the second thing it does now show, where you are on side. Because when you are kneeling during the national anthem, you can say, well, you need to stand. Why are you not standing? You stand, right? And this isn't about, race or anything like that. But, so, and that gets clouded doing that. But what the Dallas Cowboys did last night, if you cannot, I would say if you did not like what the Dallas Cowboys did, then there's almost no counterpart like that, right? Then you have a problem with race, or you are just a stubborn like Republican, not willing to look at anybody's side, because they did not kneel for the national anthem. They did it beforehand, and they told Lisa Salters what it was about, that they wanted to know that this is not about the national anthem, and they didn't do it during the national anthem. So you should have no problem with what the Dallas Cowboys did, and if you do have a problem, maybe that shows your true colors. And let's talk a little bit about the president, right? Because, well, he was on fire this weekend, wasn't he? He just tweeting off a storm. Calling him, yeah, he didn't help the situation at all. He just made it worse. When he went out there and fired off these sons of bitches comment that he did Friday night, it just made people even more mad, and it made people more sickened, and just made him more not doing anything, and just continuing to make it divide as if he wants this divided. I would like to think that is not what he's doing. He's not really trying to divide this country, at least down racial lines. Maybe he's trying to divide it by Republican and Democrat. Maybe he's trying to do that, but not racial lines, right? But maybe he is, right? He's said some other things, right? Things about the Mexicans and the Muslims, and is he just playing to his constituents? Does he really feel that way? What? I don't know. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but man, it's just you can't. That's not the way to go. That's not the way to go. Because listen, I think I said this when I talked about when he won the presidency, and I talked about this a couple of times. I think in that video, and I may have talked about it in another video in the past, where there is this meme or picture or whatever about that when he was on the Phil Donahue show in the 80s, and he's talking about that if he ever ran for office, he would run as a Republican because they are the stupidest people in the world, and you can just say anything and they would believe it, and they would follow you for it. And I've kind of felt like that's what was going on with him, that he was that he really wanted to be president, and he knew the way he was going to do it was by being a Republican, and then maybe that he would maybe he had more that he had more Democratic views or something like that, but he was just saying things to Republican, and maybe that's even worse, right? That's even worse. You are just saying something to get to where you're going. You are saying these things that you don't even mean, but you are putting up this front and not being who you really are, just so that you can get some power. There are so many ways you can go down that line with that. And then with the whole Steph Curry thing, and taking away the Steph, the Golden State Warriors invitation, listen, I will say this again. Listen, I don't know if politics should be, you should play politics when it comes to sports. I do not like when people would not go and see President Obama when he was the president because of politics. I was disappointed in members of the '85 Bears. When the Bears won in the Super Bowl in '85 season, January of '86, they didn't get to go to the White House and see President Reagan because I believe it was the Challenger that blew up a couple of days later, and they were dealing with that issue. So their trip was canceled, and they never got to go. So President Obama, being from Chicago, being grown up in Chicago, obviously he was, of course, born in Hawaii. Growing up in Chicago, being a longtime Chicago Bear, he wanted to give them that opportunity to come visit the White House finally. I believe it was I think that might have been 2015, so that would have been 30 years later. Maybe it was early in 2016. So you're talking about 30 years later after they should have had the opportunity to go and they didn't go. And members of the '85 Bears, because they're Republican and they disagree with President Obama's politics, did not go to the White House. And I think other players in the current teams did the same thing. They didn't go. So, I just don't, so I didn't like it then, and I don't think I like it now. I don't like the fact that even though President Trump has definitely done some questionable things, said questionable things, maybe even said and done not so questionable things, these things are just not good at all. I still think there should be some respect for, if not who holds the office, but respect for the office, right? And you should go. So that would be just my opinion. I think if you get invited, you should go. I think the Warriors should go. But I know because of what has gone on with the president, they were questioning it, and I guess because maybe they didn't say yes in time, Donald Trump decided to get on Twitter once again. That Twitter is going to be the death of him. He gets on Twitter and says that he takes away the invitation from Steph Curry and the Warriors, and then LeBron James comes up, calls him a bum. Listen, I don't know if you should be calling the president a bum. I mean, that's almost like stooping down to his level, right? Because you're supposed to be bigger than, he's calling people sons of bitches, so maybe you should be bigger than that. But then you call him a bum. But he like many others are upset and disappointed that of what the president is doing and what it's done and what it's said and everything like that. So whatever. LeBron James calls him a bum, and the Warriors make a statement. Steve Kerr has asked, don't be decisive. He wrote something, about please don't divide us and things like that. And so then that happened as well. So there's just everything seems to be out there in sports, and it's sad. It really is. It really is sad because it just shouldn't be like this. It just shouldn't. I don't know if we all need to be singing Kumbaya and be, dancing a jig or doing whatever or anything like that, right? I don't know. I don't know if utopia is what is even best for, the world. Maybe, maybe disagreement and things like that and debate makes us better, right? And but it seems like that doesn't want to happen. It seems like that you on one side that you're either right, and the other side is wrong. There is no talking about, the sharing of ideas and then coming to an agreement that at least that you agree to disagree, right? But you respect each other's views, or respect each other's opinions, or respect the fact that you have those opinions. That doesn't seem to want to. People don't want to seem to have that. They just want to scream louder. No, you're wrong. I'm right. No, you're wrong. I'm right. And that divides us as well. You can't have, there's no conversation, sharing of ideas, and then saying, okay, we agree to disagree. Thanks for having the conversation with me. No problem. Thanks for having a conversation with me. No name calling. No anything, right? No violence. Just the sharing of ideas, and then a possibility of changing somebody's mind, showing somebody, a new way to look at something, or even agreeing to disagree. And that doesn't seem to happen. People don't want to seem to even try and do that, and that's unfortunate. I really do. Because what I would say is having a conversation. I think having a conversation about anything is what makes us better. Sharing ideas and things like that. And as long as you have that conversation, right? I don't think anything can be wrong with that. Sure, I think agree to disagree, without question. But have the conversation, at least. That's just me. Just my opinion. And we're all entitled to having our opinion. And I don't think that doesn't make anybody right or wrong for that. Doesn't make people racist for having an opinion that you should stand for the anthem. Doesn't make people who want to kneel or sit down for the anthem, unpatriotic. Just they see things in different lights. So, but yeah, I really do think I want to. I was very hesitant to do this, to talk about this. Just because of the fact of exactly what I just said. You can't have your opinion and then have a conversation about it. Especially me being black, but having the opinion that you should not, kneel. You should stand for that. And that it's disrespectful for, it's disrespectful to the country and to the soldiers and things like that, and it's just my opinion. Because there will be people out there who will say, you're black, you shouldn't have that opinion. Or they will call me a coon, or something like that, or send me the Daffy Duck dancing gif, as if to say I'm being a house nigga, or an Uncle Tom or something. And I didn't want that. I don't like that. I don't. It's not something that I want. That's not. I'm not about that. Once that happens, that immediately goes bam. That's my thing. That's when I say, obviously, I don't need to listen to you, and you get blocked or you get deleted or whatever, and then you go away. And it's not something that I like to do. I like to have, definitely about free speech, and like to have an open dialogue. But once you go that route, that shuts off for me. So I didn't want to do that. But really, last night, the Dallas Cowboys and doing what they're doing, I really do think that for me, that was the best way of doing it all. I was okay with what the Steelers did and what the Titans did and the Seahawks did. They did, they stayed in their locker rooms and they didn't participate in the national anthem, and it's okay because I was basically saying to myself Saturday that really possibly the only thing the NFL can do, right? Because there was a lot of the stuff on Twitter and things like that Saturday where, and you were hearing things about, well, listen, there's going to be more and more protests because of what the Donald Trump said on Sunday. And I was thinking, well, I mean, the only thing that looks like this might the NFL can do, because you can't stop them from showing the freedom of speech, right? That's not good. But maybe the only thing that you can do is just try to curtail it and play the national anthem while they're in the locker room. That way there won't be any protests, anything like that. So that's what I was thinking. That might be the best, way to go. And I know the NFL probably would take flack for that, but that might just be the best thing for everything, so that there are no controversies. It's just about football. But I think last night, I think what the Dallas Cowboys did, I really liked, I really enjoyed it, and I hope that I would hope that continues on. That maybe some teams would look at that and say, maybe that is the way to go. We take a knee before the anthem, and then we stand for the anthem. Now, I don't think that is going to happen. I think probably, certainly, there still would be people who would kneel, and there are people who would continue to sit for the rest of the season, maybe even for the rest of their careers. And that will just have to happen. And you can, not like it. You cannot, you can think that it's disrespectful. That's your opinion. You can also be with them and say, yes, continue to protest. That is your opinion as well. That is your right as well as their right to continue to sit. But again, I still think that maybe what the Cowboys did is the best way to go about this until this stops being about the anthem and being about the social inequalities and the social injustices that go on in our country. And maybe that will stop happening either. But maybe if we continue to have but maybe it'll stop as long as we have the conversations. Because once again, we have conversations like this and things like that, because people have different ways of seeing how to do things anyway, right? You say, okay, well, how do you stop this? Well, we do this way. Well, what about? Well, no, I think we should go about it this way. And that's what this country kind of built on, wasn't it? Like that. So I don't know. but I think, again, like I said, I think the reason why I decided to do this video, that I do hope that the conversation does start, because I think it is time to start having the conversation about other things and stop it being about the protest and the national anthem. And because it is dividing us, and we were already going down that divide, and it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and this is not something that I, as a black American, want to see. I talked about this in the once again in the video. I was very worried, very scared that we were going down a civil war road, where this would be white against black, Democrat against Republican, or whatever, and that's not something that I wanted to see. And stuff with Charlottesville, and then the stuff that went on afterwards, and now this. I can see it, and I can see it. And then let's not forget that we get a couple of crazies out there that, as we are divided, would love to take advantage of that and attack us, right? While we're fighting with each other, we're focusing on each other. Here comes the blind side. You know it. Just wait. And then we get other issues that we need to talk about, man. Brothers and sisters in Florida, our brothers and sisters in Houston, our brothers and sisters in Southeast Louisiana, our brothers and sisters in Puerto Rico who are dealing with the aftermath of the hurricanes. We need to share a little focus on them. They need our focus. They need our help. Especially from the president. The president doesn't need to be dealing with stuff that's going on in the NFL or the NBA or anything else. So you're focusing on that and the other things, and the healthcare bill, right? Still trying to repeal Obamacare. Senators have said, no, we're not going to do it. You know, we're not going to do this, and be thankful for them, but they're still trying to go about it. You know, instead of trying to fix it and fix what's wrong with Obamacare, they're just trying to get rid of it altogether. And they want to make sure that there's nothing, almost nothing that nothing that Obama did shows any sign that there was that he was president. Only at the fact that there was. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get rid of the number 44. They try to get rid of the number 44, so that there's 43rd president, 45th president. There was no 44th president, because 44, the number 44 is irrelevant. It's not existing anymore. So. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, listen, post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. Have your opinions. You disagree with me, you can agree with me. I think that's totally fine. But like I said, I'm not going to tolerate the name calling of me or any other people who comment. I'm not going to tolerate the questioning of my blackness or anything like that. That's not going to happen. That comment, your thing will be done. So if that's what you want to do, yes, I would just say maybe just keep that to yourself. Maybe curse me out in, or say what you ever want to say, about me somewhere else. Don't do it on, on my page or anything like that. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp, signing off. As always, more than ever, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.